Okay, then we'll finish up with the guest host, and we'll say goodnight.
Incoming transmission.
Who is it?
A message from Caltep Floyd.
The guest host?
Correct.
A message from the guest host. Minutes before the broadcast? This can't be good.
Message reads, problem with star drive. Stop. Unable to arrive for podcast. Stop. Hugs and kisses. Stop. Caltep.
Oh no. I better write something else quickly before...
Okay, so the theater is warmed up and the popcorn is ready. The episode should run smoothly.
Actually, we have a problem.
Oh no. Don't tell me.
Yep, just found out.
There's a problem with the audio equipment in the booth.
Wait, what?
I've been meaning to get that fixed for weeks now. I knew it would crap out just before a broadcast.
Well, that isn't what I was... Wait, you mean the sound system for the audio playback?
Yeah. That's why those monkey noises we recorded earlier sounded like 2 deviled eggs frying in a pan.
Oh, that explains why I got so hungry during our Planet of the Apes sketch.
Broadcast in 2 minutes.
There's a lot of little things we need to get repaired around here. Doors that won't open, flickering lights, and that soda machine hasn't had Dr. Pepper in forever.
So that's why my ice cream float tasted like seltzer. I thought I was having a mild stroke.
Hey, do you think we should do one of these from a planet sometime?
Like an on-location type of thing?
Yeah, maybe the GNN would pay to send us to the beaches of Tipperon 7. You know, they have a nude beach volleyball there.
Remember the last time we played volleyball? We wore ourselves out against the hyper-cyborg team from Schlucky, a little town near Grothep Humongous, you know, in the Galaxy of Terror.
Who would have ever thought to put lasers in a volleyball player's biceps to attack their opponent?
Well, in a place named the Galaxy of Terror, I'd imagine quite a few, actually.
Broadcast in 30 seconds.
Alright, let's get this thing going. I'll upload the script to the teleprompter, and you activate the broadcast dish.
On it.
I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Broadcast in 10 seconds.
Alright, the script is up on the teleprompter.
I'll open the episode.
I really feel like I'm forgetting something.
We'll be fine. Count us down, TARDIS.
Broadcast in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, fellow Vortex listeners. This is Taylor.
And this is Matt.
And you're listening to another incredible episode of Voices from the Vortex. And what an incredible show we have for you today.
We have a hilarious sketch from the Planet of the Apes, which will make you really hungry for eggs.
And our guest host tonight is Caltep Floyd, the king of the Nerubian Nebula. Let's give a big round of applause for King Caltep. Where's the king?
Oh, son of a... You're listening to Voices from the Vortex, Episode 24, Season 9 Theory Spectacular, broadcast June 2015.
Gallifrey. Stand by for podcast. This is Voices from Vortex.
Hello, fans of the Vortex. This is Matt.
And this is Taylor.
That's Taylor.
I can't believe that you didn't tell me that the guest was not coming.
I'm sorry, okay? Look, a lot happened in a very short amount of time.
Ugh. Alright. Well, we'll have to do something else.
Alright.
What are we gonna do?
Hey, we've been talking about that New Year's Eve countdown classics top 40 list for a while.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think you had some songs that you had put together for us here.
Yes, I do. I collected some songs.
Maybe we should do that.
A little new segment we call the Gallifrey Top 40. We'll have that coming up for you.
With some pretty amusing and fascinating renditions of my favorite Gallifreyan songs.
Yes.
So.
Yes. And hopefully this will become a regular segment on the show. Because I really enjoy it.
Yes.
But, Matt and I were thinking, this month, let's, try to avoid any shenanigans or any adventures this week.
Yeah, well, shenanigan insurance is... Our premiums went up on the shenanigan insurance.
Yes, it did. So we're just thinking, what can we do? And you know what? It hit me.
Mm-hmm.
The new show, Series 9, is about to come out in a couple of months. And we haven't really talked about it at all. There's been a lot of news and a lot of stuff happening.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of speculation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's... Sometimes that we do that pretty well.
We speculate our asses off.
Yes, so we figured we'd just chat this week, and hopefully you guys will still enjoy this. I know I do. I enjoy listening to just chats, podcast chats.
So by the fireside.
But yes, we've got the TARDIS fireplace here.
A score and several podcasts ago. Forefather.
Yes.
Well, guys,
Series 9.
Series 9 is not that far away.
And I gotta say, it's crazy. Series 9? The number 9. I gotta say, it's nuts. Because, when I was gonna start Doctor Who, I didn't know what to do. I'd never watched it before, and I asked some friends of mine, I was like, I don't know, how to start this. I hear it's there's a really long... first part, do I start there or where do I start? I don't know where to watch this thing. And the guy's like, no, you should start with the new thing. The first one, it's 20 seasons long, and it ran for 20 years or whatever. And it's you don't have to watch it. It's kind of cool to see some of the old episodes, but you can start with the new thing because it's only a few seasons long. Now. New Who's an undertaking. It's 9 seasons long. It's well, I guess it's someone's like, where can I start? I'm like, any other time I would have been like, start with Eccleston. Sure, start. But now I'm like, that is 9 seasons. I mean, I guess you could start with Smith, or if you really wanted to, or whatever, If you
want to stay current, just start with Capaldi.
It's a lot, yeah. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to watch now. That Eccleston stuff didn't seem that old just a few years ago, but now it seems ancient.
You know what really surprises me? We have reached the Eccleston of seasons.
Yes, we have. You're right.
We have reached the New Who of New Who. I'm just saying. I think it's time New Who puts on a leather jacket and a jumper and just makes a day of it.
Just be glad they didn't put their hair in a faux hawk and say, no more.
Can we just please give a little bit of respect to the fact that the War Doctor had a faux hawk?
He's an old man with a faux hawk.
The dude's 90 with a faux hawk. That's hot. Hot HAWT. Silent and invisible Z. That's hot.
So yeah, you guys, Series 9, you got your Capaldi, you got your
Claire,
you got your Jenna Coleman.
Yeah.
And most surprising of all, you got your Michelle Gomez.
No!
Already? That surprised me that she's going to be in the first episode. The first episode.
But isn't she always first in our hearts?
She
hasn't really
near
left.
And dear. Yes. Because last we left her, she got quote-unquote vaporized by Cyber Brig. It's one of those things where I've grown accustomed to
her face.
Well, I'm sure she's not dead, but, we'll probably won't see her again for a little while.
Right.
They'll probably have some new through line for next season, some new thing. But no, she's coming right back. And it's kind of strange.
I don't know if anyone knows this or not. They leaked the very first scene of the first episode. And it turns out that she actually was Santa inside a Nick Frost suit. That's not true. That is not a leak. That did not happen. That is not the first scene. But
oh my god, if it was.
But the first scene is he shows up again, and Clara and the doctor are like, no, we're still in the dream crabs. And he goes, no, doctor. And he unzips straight down the front of his body, and the Nick Frost suit just like falls into two directions, one on one side, one on the other, and it's Michelle Gomez underneath.
Let me stop you right there.
In a fully dressed Missy outfit with the umbrella standing there, and she goes, top of the morning to you, Doc.
I'm just glad that you didn't say zips across her forehead and reveals a Slovene inside.
Who then unzips the Slovene suit.
Slovene suit, and it's Missy, yes.
And she unzips at the end of the episode, and it's K9. Like, it's Inception for Doctor
Oh,
Who.
I'm telling you, Capaldi and K9, it needs to happen. Oh my god, it needs to happen.
That be the best?
So yeah, and there's kind of a weird... People are like saying like she's not going to be the villain. She's going to be like another companion or something strange. I don't know.
Look, you can make her a companion 9 different ways from Sunday. She's always going to be the villain.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. I see it being a really interesting turn. Like, oh, it's the Master again. So quickly. But yeah, I just think she's going to be evil in some way. And the titles of these episodes are interesting. It's a 2-parter.
We're going to get a lot of 2-parters, by the way.
A lot of 2-parters this season, which is another thing. We'll get to that in a second. But they're called The Magician's Apprentice, which we knew that one from after the Christmas special.
Right.
But then part 2 is called The Witch's Familiar. Sound like Narnia books or something.
I'm sincerely hoping they go to Hogwarts. Like... Does nobody else want Capaldi scolding Harry Potter for once again scoring points for Gryffindor when the Hufflepuffs are like sitting up there like, we're making crafts! Why don't we win?
Yes.
Nobody in this school gets an education so long as Harry Potter goes here. Son of a bitch.
That raises another question. Do they do math or anything? I don't know. Who knows?
Dumbest people alive.
Just magic. Anyway,
there's going to be 12 episodes this season, and there's a buttload of 2-parters.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really cool. Moffat's kind of come out. He's come out almost like every couple of months or every couple of weeks, some new interview with like Doctor Who magazine or something, where he says something else that makes everybody go. Aah! But
so basically,
like
turns
Kermit,
into Kermit the Frog.
But. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of 2-parters, he says. They're kind of...
Here's the thing. Like,
okay.
He says it's because he remembers having to wait every week for a new episode, and like there were cliffhangers. He's like, well, when you do short-form story writing, 45 minutes in, you hear the music, and you know the actor's about to win. Okay, I don't watch the show for 9 seasons because I expect it to change that dramatically. I watch it because I love the character and what he does each week. I'm okay with, him saving the day at 45 minutes in. Here's what I'm going to say to Moffat. Dude, you're just running out of ideas for 1-episode stories. You're like, I don't want to put this much time and effort into new characters each week for 12 weeks. Like, I need a break. So 7 new characters over... multiple episode storylines.
Well, and also, I've heard that it's going to be like there'll be almost every episode will be like a 2-parter. Every 2 episodes. However, they won't. They'll just be kind of. Some of them will only be slightly related.
Which sounds an awful lot like you're just creating a through line for the entire season. Like, it's not a 2-parter, Moffat. That's just too relatable. That's like saying A Good Man Goes to War's sequel was the next episode was Let's Kill Hitler.
Yeah,
they're
those
not
two
exactly
are not
a 2-parter.
Not 2-parter. I don't know who told him it was a 2-parter. Oh, great 2-parter, Moffat. He's like, oh, thank you. No, they were wrong.
Like, okay, I get it. You really loved Fear Her and thought that you should be able to expand upon Fear Her, but that was a one-off episode. You don't need to turn it into 2, right? That was a really crappy one-off episode. So why are you giving us multiple episodes? We know we're going to have bad episodes. We're going to have another Robots of Sherwood. We're going to have another Fear Her. or
Into the Dalek. Ugh.
Into the Dalek. Don't give
probably
us a two-parter Into the Dalek.
No, Into the Dalek was the worst of last season, hands down.
And that's horrible to say that, but
yeah,
it's a Dalek episode.
It's a Dalek, yeah.
It's Capaldi's first Dalek episode.
Yeah.
Like, if every episode was Listen and Mummy on the Orient Express, awesome. Like, that could be the entire season. But it won't be.
Yeah. No.
Okay? It's going to be an awful lot of the Lazarus Experiment. And
I'm sure... I'm sure we'll have a lot to say when Season 9 comes around.
Can I point out that every season had a bad two-parter? Okay? First season's two-parter with the Slitheen, really not that great. At the end of the day.
No.
Second season had... what was its second two-parter? Oh, The Impossible... Never mind. Second season had two great two-parters. Third season had a terrible two-parter. And yeah, I'm counting the Family of Blood as a bad two-part. I didn't like it. And the Evolution of the Daleks was pretty bad.
No, Evolution of the Daleks is crap. However, I do like Family of Blood. It's pretty good. It's got some good parts.
Piece.
It's got some really good stuff. Like, what was the first two-parter in Season 2?
Season 2, that was with the Cybermen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Season 2 was pretty...
Season 2 was solid. Except for
solid.
Fear Her.
Fear Her and Love and Monsters. Those two.
Love and Monsters.
I don't know.
And then Season 3, and then Season 4... I like the Centaurans.
I don't either. That was... I mean, I love Centaurans, but that whole... The Poison Sky and everything, and the cars...
Didn't need to be a two-parter. Probably could have done that in one.
Well, and it was Unit, like, without the Brigadier, and, like, without...
Kate.
Any of the fun science stuff. Yeah, and without Kate Stewart. Now that we have Kate Stewart, Unit is amazing. But back then, it was kind of...
And then Season 5... Oh, God.
Cold.
Worst two-parter.
The Silurian one.
And I love the Silurians, but that was just horrid.
Yeah.
Season 6 had a terrible one, and the ones with the gangers.
Exactly. I did not like the gangers at all.
So, Moffat, I get it. Like, you missed the cliffhangers. Just write.
And in Season 7,
just write cliffhangers.
There were no two-parters yet, but...
Right, you got rid of two-parters, and look how good Season 7 was.
Yeah.
Even Sweetsville.
I mean, Season 7, that was probably almost... I would say the Crimson Horror was probably my least favorite of that season.
My least favorite, though, was Nightmare in Silver.
Yeah, and those were, but still not even that bad.
No, they were decent episodes.
Not as bad as Into the Dalek or something. Right. So
I couldn't. Well, we've talked at endless lengths about this. I couldn't even stand Robot of Sherwood. Like the whole first, the first three episodes of Season 8 was just enough already. let's fast forward to Listen and then hop all the way over to
check out Deep Breath just for posterity, and then skip to Listen.
Kill the Moon and done with it.
Yeah.
So I digress. So two-parters have.
It could be interesting. It could be there's something new they're trying. It may be good. It may sort of change the whole way the like you'll hear later in the review. It may sort of change maybe the whole feel of the show and sort of the way the beats are given in the story and everything, and it may make it a little more exciting, or it could turn out to be a horrible failure of an experiment and we go back to the way Season 7 was. No two-parters. Except for, like, the finales. The finales should always be two-parters. Those are kind of always fun. That way you can have a huge story for the finales.
Well, you want a big cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things we've noticed in the last couple of weeks was they're getting ready to film the finale. And the episodes before the finale, they've been working on that. And for the last two episodes, Clara is awfully light in the episodes. Yeah. And I say that because they had their script reading for the last two, and Clara wasn't there.
Ooh.
Jenna Coleman was not at the reading. That's the episode, the penultimate episode, not the final episode. She might be gone for an episode. We don't know.
Right. I would hope just for the sake of the show being the show, that it should change and everything should be different. I love Jenna Coleman to death, but she should leave by the end of this season, if not by the Christmas special next season. In my opinion,
she, had we said this at the beginning of last season, I would have said no way. I loved her with Matt Smith.
Right.
Her and Matt Smith were meant to be together, and they loved each other, whether you want to admit it or not. It was
right.
It was beautiful, but completely unrealized. And then he changes, and then you watch season 8, and she's outgrown her purpose. She has become who she's going to be. There's no more Clara.
That's why I was really surprised that she's coming back for the whole season. So who knows what's going to happen with this? You're right. There's sort of this, Clara some more?
Well, it depends on what they're doing.
What else
with
can
it.
you do with her? Yeah,
I still maintain that they're going to turn her into the Doctor. Not into the Doctor, but into a character just like the Doctor. And she'll die. I really do believe she will.
I hope so, just for... That would be great. Great television.
Right.
I would bawl my eyes out.
But
and
really
what
we've seen in her first season, she likes the Doctor. In her second season, which is season 8, she becomes like the Doctor. And I think in this season, she'll be corrupted. I think Missy will do that. I do. I think that's a great storyline. I don't see why they wouldn't do that. Mm-hmm. Missy starts training her a little bit, and she slowly becomes someone she shouldn't, until eventually it consumes her, and I think she'll die. But also because how do you leave the Impossible Girl? She's so important to the Doctor's past and his future. How do you just leave her? How do you say goodbye and let her go live her life? You can't. There'll always be this girl out there that was in your time stream.
Yeah. That
was broken into a million pieces. It's too big. It's like the Bad Wolf. You can never have Rose come back and just show up. You can't just have the Doctor go to get some chips one day and he sees Rose hanging out there and he's like, "Oh hey Rose," and she's like, "Oh hey Doctor, it's good to see you."
Oh, I'm in another dimension. What happened? I'm in Pete's world.
And me, Pete.
Some other interesting things. Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones is going to be a guest star on the show, which I'm really excited about. That'll be pretty neat. She, if you don't watch Game of Thrones, she plays Arya. She's really great as Arya. If you've read any of the books, she's perfect for the role. But in this, I'm not sure what she is. We've seen some set photos. She's like a Revolutionary War bandit on a horse or something. A kid bandit. I don't know what she's going to be. Interesting costume.
I'm desperately wanting her to be a Ren Fair enthusiast.
Yes, the Doctor. This whole time he's like, "Oh, at a Ren Fair."
He lands at a Ren Fair.
That's the twist.
He's talking to people, and they're like, "Oi, governor, would you like a piece of a stick of thine leg?" And holds up a chicken leg or something. And he's like, "No, this is wrong. The anachronisms. Something's happened to the Earth. Time is changing." And then Clara's
the big twist. It's
Doctor,
not revealed till the end.
I'm pretty sure it's a Ren Fair. And he's like, "Of course."
God.
And
then Daleks show up.
The Daleks show, but it's people in a Dalek costume walking around.
It's Comic-Con. He's like, "Oh no."
It's like when I go to Ren Fair out here every now and then, and I see people dressed up as the Doctor, and I see a guy who's always dressed up like Marty McFly, and I'm just
great.
like, I'm like, yes, always this. Sometimes you see people in Star Trek uniforms, with tricorders, and you're just like, awesome. I love you people so much. Don't ever stop. There needs to be more nerds than Ren Fair nerds.
Speaking of costume. Seen a lot of stuff. Capaldi's new little outfits.
So
new coats and stuff.
There's an episode that's before the finale, later on, and it's the return of Rigsby. Or Rigsy from Flatline from last season.
From Flatline, yeah.
But Capaldi's wearing an outfit that it looks like Pertwee. Yeah, it's a crushed velvet jacket.
Ooh, it's got the red lining inside.
It's so pretty.
Yeah,
it's so
nice.
beautiful.
Yeah, I've seen You know, and I've seen a lot of the one where he's got the hood, you know, and like
him in his hoodie,
the hoodie with the coat over it.
Yep.
So, you know, I think it's cool that, like with Tenet, you had kind of the, you had the blue suit and the brown suit,
right? Oh, and the tuxedo.
And the tuxedo for fancy occasions.
For formal work.
and with Matt Smith, you had the sort of the same outfit, and it maybe only changed.
It changed, but okay. So
each season, right?
At first, it was the tweed jacket, right, and was the pink shirt and
and it was the red bow tie and the blue bow tie,
right? And then in season 6, in his second season, it was a different tweed jacket, a different shirt. But then he started wearing the long jacket. That he started wearing.
Right, and then season 7 he started wearing the
purple
tweed
outfit
again, and then it was the purple thing, with Clara. So, but I feel like Capaldi. I've seen so many different like variations on his outfit. It's like the same outfit, but he's got so many like different colors and different ways to wear it. So
he's definitely more like Pertwee, who you would see wearing a different crushed velvet suit, a different suit every episode. Every story. Pertwee, the look was there, but he definitely didn't keep it. I think that's what they're trying to do with. We'll talk more about Pertwee when we do our reviews of that, but I think that's more. I think that's kind of where they're headed with it, and I like that. I like that a lot because you can't emulate a lot of that. You can never emulate Tom Baker's style. They could never go back and do that.
Right.
But you can take from Pertwee. What's his face? Matt Smith took from Troughton, and David Tennant took from Davidson. So, this is the season that Moffat was talking about before season 8, when he says, "Oh, have I got a great cliffhanger in the penultimate episode? Get ready."
Oh boy! Oh boy!
So this is it, guys. Whatever it is, we're going to be watching episode 11. And it's going to end with a dun dun dun. Gallifrey was inside of you all along. And his heart grew 3 times the size.
All you had to do was click your heels together 3 times.
Little Clara Luhu teaches Dr. the Grouch, Dr. the Grinch, how to love.
So you said Dr. the Grouch, and now I'm picturing Capaldi coming out of a trash can.
I didn't have to say that. Don't you normally picture Capaldi coming out of a trash can? Like he's got that attitude about him.
With the lid on top of his head,
strapped to his head so he never has to hold it.
All right, last thing I have to speculate about, and this isn't even Series 9, people, and this is today, as of recording this is hot off the presses, all right?
Here we go.
I saw a tweet today from official Doctor Who account. They are hoping to release some more Classic Who. More details to come. Very exciting. So we all know there's these missing episodes that they have. So we're hoping. What do you? I'll tell you what I hope it is.
Okay.
I hope it's the invasion. That would be amazing.
Well, the invasion is out there.
Not completely, though, right?
But they've made cartoons of those 2 episodes.
Well, then maybe. Okay, then maybe.
I'm hoping it's Power of the Daleks. His first.
You know, yeah, that would be great.
Or any
the Daleks
episode of
the
that
Daleks
episode.
Master Plan with the 12 episode.
Oh God, yes.
Insanity. Or Marco Polo would be really neat too, because I know that. I mean, I watched a thing on like a DVD for the episode right before Marco Polo, and it was like a thing they put together where they had like some audio and some stills, and it was really short because it was like all the stuff that they had put together. It was maybe like 30 minutes. Super boring. So I don't know, but I've heard a lot of people talk about Marco Polo, and even the people who you know, Ian, the guy who played Ian, and talk about how cool of an episode that was and how great it was when they made it. So that would be another cool one for them to have found.
If this is what I think this is, okay, when the television station in Ethiopia announced that they had those episodes, and we got
Web of Fear
and
Enemy of the World. I think
Enemy of the World. They announced that they actually had more than that. They said they had like 3 complete stories and a fourth and a fifth story that was like some episodes from it.
Oh boy.
So the BBC bought all of it, and then the BBC turned around and said, well, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put, these 2 out because they're complete. The other one needed some restoration. And if I remember correctly, it's Wheel in Space. It's the first Dodo.
The first...
not Dodo.
Zoe?
Zoe. Thank you. First Zoe. And a Dalek episode, too.
Hey.
So, but I don't
Sweet.
know. We have nothing from his first
Nothing
season.
to go... literally, that was what the tweet said. Nothing to go on.
Well, no, I mean, we have nothing from Troughton's first season.
Oh, right.
The Highlander would be great. The Power of the Daleks at the beginning would be great.
The Fury... No, maybe not
Fury in the Deep.
What's the... There's another one.
Yeah.
Fury from the Deep's the one where the foam comes up from the pipes.
Right.
Which is still missing. That one's still missing for the most part. There's another one. The Underwater Menace.
That's it.
That would be pretty cool, too.
All of it with the
Jamie
macro.
and-
Yeah. All of those would be... I mean, it's just his first season is just gone. It's missing. And, it's a shame because, as you and I have discovered, Troughton is one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
His stuff is phenomenal.
Yeah,
And-
lots of fun.
Oh, so, that would be great. That's cool. I can't wait to hear more on that.
Well, I think we've speculated about as much as we can speculate.
We're going to go ahead and run an ad for you guys. We'll be back right after these ads and have a review of a Pertwee episode.
Yeah. And we will be right back.
Voices from the Vortex is brought to you by...
Tired of all that junk cluttering up your closets? Wish those vacuum-pack bags actually worked? Don't have time to invest building a new house with your bare hands? Don't worry, because Rassilon's closets can help. Watch as the space magically appears. No more fuss with inseparable junk. No more muss with out-of-control space limitations. Rassilon's Closets lets you put that crazy old junk anywhere in an infinite space. Utilizing the latest in Time Lord technology, Rassilon's Closets gives you infinite space in no time at all.
Finally, a place to put all my Barbies and all my dresses.
I'm so glad I get my baseball collection into one closet.
This is where I store the bodies.
Rassilon's Closets are designed to utilize multiple dimensions in space and time to accommodate a bigger on the inside effect. No more dealing with stuffed closets and a failure to close the door. Rassilon's Closets, all the space you need in no time at all.
Now the theater's ready to play the classic episode. Man, this is exciting.
I never get tired of the older doctors.
TARDIS, which is your favorite episode?
All of them, but mostly because my sister is in them.
Good answer.
Alright, TARDIS, let's do this.
Activating theater conditions.
The lights are lowering.
The curtain is opening.
Commencing vid disc playback. Enjoy the feature, boys.
Do you know him?
No, I thought I might do, but he's a complete stranger.
Interesting.
What are these? Who are you?
Those are bits of what the Brigadier thought might be a meteorite.
We are the Nestine.
Wonder what was inside.
We have been colonizing other planets for 1,000 million years.
We need your help, Michelle.
I'm just not interested in security work.
Security?
Producing invisible ink. That sort of thing.
We're not exactly spies here at Unit.
Then what do you do? Exactly.
The Doctor has faced judgment by the Time Lords, and now his exile to Earth begins. When a terrible enemy from space arrives on Earth, it is up to the newly regenerated Doctor to forge his alliance with UNIT and save the Earth. In his new job!
Welcome to the third Doctor.
Gotta get that J.O.B. Yes! John Pertwee!
The only Doctor to hold down a job.
Yes. I was so excited to get to this point. In my personal watch, I can't even say rewatch because it's my first time through. You know, I loved Troughton. You know, there was a lot of fun things about his era. He did a lot of great things, but I was ready to move on. I was ready for something new, and I was ready for color.
Yeah,
makes so much of a difference.
Just to get out of the black and white
I cannot
stage.
tell you. Yeah, I mean, something about... maybe this is just my generation. It's the way I grew up. Everything has been in color since I grew up, okay? So it's like something about seeing something in black and white makes me bored instantly. Just a little bit. So already this was better in all respects. Just out of the gate, color. I was like, oh, this is nice.
Well, and it is. It does add a different dimension. You know, the black and white stuff with Troughton and with Hartnell is quaint and has a nostalgic feel. When we were doing the Dalek Invasion of Earth, it feels like a 60s movie. It feels like a 50s movie.
Yeah.
But this is different. This is a little closer to the Doctor as we know him.
Mm-hmm. The show, I feel like, was also very different. Just in the way it was written, sort of the beats of the dialogue, the humor. I feel like it was a totally different show altogether.
Very much so. Well, I mean, they had a new premise, didn't they? You know, the Doctor had been traveling through space and time, and he finally faces his past, and they thought, well, you know, for budget reasons probably, let's just stick him on Earth, stick him in one place, and they started creating a family of characters around him, where the Doctor before would travel with one or two people at a time. Now he would know, you know, he'd have his companion there, which, as we're introduced in this episode, to Liz Shaw. The Brigadier is back from Troughton's era, and a bunch of just random guys that we would see over and over again. We get to know them as the unit crew, as the group that he identifies with, he associates with. So, I mean, you're right. It was a new direction for the show, but they created a home base for him, which he really hasn't had since. Once we get to Tom Baker, he just takes off and never comes back.
Yeah, and I mean, and understandably, this is a weird, it's a weird time in the show because just in the story, because you know he's been exiled. You know, he's been running from the Time Lords for a while, and they're like, well, hey, we caught you now, and we're gonna force you to regenerate, and we're gonna make you forget everything you know about how the TARDIS works. You know, not everything, but they changed the codes. You know, he's stuck there. He can't take off. And it's strange that, you know, this era, it's sort of like this whole, like, everything that happens just on Earth, like, it, you know, from this date to this date, you know, in Earth's history in London, lots of things kept coming to London, which is very convenient. But yeah, this episode we get the Autons, sort of the new thing. Well, it's really old for us because, you know, Eccleston was like... It was the first Eccleston episode, first episode of the new Doctor Who, and it was kind of fun to see. Like this was the beginnings of them, and still kind of a mystery of like who they are and what they, you know, where they're from and how they work and everything.
You know, and it's interesting because Troughton faced the same villains over and over again. You know. He faced the Yeti twice. Right. He faced the Cybermen like 5 times. The Daleks a couple times.
The Ice Warriors
several times. You're right.
A couple times. Yeah.
He was really big into the repeat villains, and his villains were very, when they weren't monsters, they were just people. And you know, now we finally get to an age of Doctor Who where it's, every episode's going to be a different villain. Of course, Pertwee's going to cut his teeth on the Daleks, just like he does anyone. We won't see the Cybermen again for a while. So really, I mean, we're going to get a lot of new villains, new characters, when after season 1 of Pertwee's era, season 2, we get the Master, which was huge. Another Time Lord.
Yeah.
So really, we're looking down the barrel of a really interesting gun that's going to say, hey, here's literally something, a creature of the week. Here's what all of the shows that we watch now are kind of based on, and the very few returning villains. And Pertwee gets 5 seasons, so it's a lot to learn from.
Yeah. And this episode kicked it off. And you know what? I always love new Doctor episodes, like the first one or like the last one, because there's all these. With the first one, there's always these like sort of in jokes,
right?
A little bit, because it's almost annoying to just a little bit, but I can get past it. It's sort of they have to do all the exposition again of like who he is,
right?
Because it's like anyone coming in, they could come in at this moment if they wanted to. And honestly, any show, any of the Doctors, you could probably come in, right, and start watching the show there.
Good.
And they'll explain. It's like, oh, he's got 2 hearts. Oh, he changes his face, and they went through the whole business of like the Brigadier, like, oh, the blue police box. I bet it's him. And they go down there, and it's like a different guy, and he's like, oh, but I know you, and they'll just that whole like rigmarole. You're like, oh, just come on, just be like, I changed my face. They never come out and say it. They're always like dancing around it, and then, oh, I'm about to say it, but I passed out. Yeah.
The whole thing with the Doctor being stuck on Earth is a great plot twist, but actually is more important because it lasts for quite a while. We will see the Doctor stuck on Earth for his first 2 seasons, and he will not gain the power to leave Earth until we get to the 3 Doctors, which was the 15-year anniversary,
which I have seen.
Which you have seen. That's right. That's very true. So we're gonna.
It's fun.
It is a good one. So yeah, I mean, it's shtick. It's what can we do? How can we get people interested again? They're sort of playing at an idea, but since it was the first time we had done it, the Doctor doesn't have the ability to run away. He's faced with having to live up to his responsibilities. He has to face the challenges in front of him, and then he has to clean up after, which you and I, and everyone who watches Doctor Who knows that he hates to do. Mm-hmm. So I like this era of Doctor Who. I like this. Right. And even once he gets the ability to travel, he returns. He comes back for Unit several times.
Yeah.
What did you think of Liz?
She, I had written some stuff about her because she was kind of cracking me up a little bit. So snarky and just like, oh boy, here we go again. That kind of attitude the whole time. And like before she got to see any of the sciencey stuff or whatever, and I guess was she there for an interview? Like she was gonna be with the Brigadier. I don't understand. Anyway, she didn't believe a word he said. Like everything he said, he's like, oh really? Well. And then he'd say something else later. She'd be like, "Oh, you mean like the space aliens you were talking about earlier?" And he's
not very well received, is he?
No. So she cracked me up. That was pretty funny.
I like Liz. She's a good companion to start off Pertwee. Pertwee needed somebody who was more his equal to begin with. Mm-hmm. He needed to come into his own. As we'll see in later seasons, he's very much. He's very fatherly. When we get to Jo Grant, especially Jo, he treats her like a daughter, and sort of coddles her. And, he's got to explain everything to her, and he gets frustrated having to talk to her all the damn time. Jo will say something like, "Oh, Doctor, what's that coming at us?" And he'll be like, "Damn it, Jo. It's a Dalek, okay? It's a stupid Dalek. We faced the Daleks like 1,000 times, all right?" And she's like, "Oh, Doctor, no!" And he's like, just stop, all right?
My,
stop.
My one sort of complaint about this episode is I don't feel like we got enough of like who this doctor's gonna be. Yeah. You know, there was only a few moments in there. It was like, we know he's gonna be kind of funny. You know, there was the whole business with the shoes. Right. You know, and then it turned out the key was in the shoes, and then and the whole business with him, he stole the clothes from the guy who I don't know. You know, I don't know what I thought where he was going to get these clothes from, because I'd seen the outfit before. And I was like, where does he get these clothes from? And I guess it's just some guy wearing that outfit.
Yeah.
And I was like, who's this guy? I want to know about him. Is he a magician? Is he? I think he was a doctor. He just dresses like that. Did he come from the opera?
He was supposed to be a wealthy investor to the hospital
or something. Yeah.
And all I can imagine is, he's like Pavarotti. He's like a great opera singer and lover of the arts, and
of course
he owns several museums and a hospital. But I'm a little more intrigued by the fact that was the car he drove.
Yeah.
And all in all, the Doctor steals his car. How many of those cars are really on the road?
I don't know. But
someone steals your 1920s Roadster. I'm pretty sure the cops can find it.
Yeah. Well, apparently there's a yellow one. There's a yellow one out there somewhere, because he's gonna get one. That was pretty funny. It was this whole like the thing at the end where he's like, he doesn't tell the Brigadier that he can't leave. He's just like, well, I'll stick around if you get me a car. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry, but I just don't feel like we got enough of like who the Doctor was going to be. I hope they sort of go more into that in other episodes, because like I know he does like karate and like
sir, it's space aikido.
It's
Venusian.
I know it is. It's Venusian aikido.
Venusian aikido.
But you know they didn't go into any of that, and he didn't really talk a lot in this story. You know, so it was kind of.
He's very silent in that first episode.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like in the rest of it, I feel like by the end of Tennant's like first episode, we knew what kind of guy he was going to be and like what kind of character, and I don't know.
We got a pretty good idea.
I didn't feel like in this one story we got it. You know,
right? They were laying the seeds for a lot.
Well, right. I'm just saying that's my only complaint.
Right. I'll tell you this much.
There's more.
One of the things I absolutely loved about this episode, we know now, it's all kind of come out now, but Pertwee was a secret agent during World War II.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool because this is really the James Bond Doctor Who.
Uh-huh.
You know, he's all about the flair. You know, James Bond walks into a room and they say, "Who are you?" And he says, "I'm Bond, James Bond." And you're like, dude, you just told them who you were. You're like the world's top secret agent, and you just said your name. Like, come up with something. Come up with a better handle. You know, I'm Fred. Fred Handlebar Mustache. And like that's his name. And oh, cool. Hey, Fred Handlebar Mustache, who sells insurance in Chippewa. Like. But no, the Doctor does the same thing. He wears this really flashy outfit that draws all this attention to him, and he walks around going, "I'm the Doctor! Fah! I work for Unit! Flaw!" And then he beats people up, and Fwah! And, you know, and it's like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be hiding. Like, you can't leave. Why would you tell everyone you're there?
Yeah.
So we really kind of get the beginning of this sort of James Bond secret agent feel, where he really does. He's got all these secret gadgets, you know, and he's got the car and the sonic screwdriver, and he gets, you know, he's got this little like laboratory that he works in all the time, and that's a very different Doctor.
Yeah,
and I love that. I love that it's almost American. Like it's so it's so badass.
It's pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. Some of my favorite little moments from the show, from the episode. I loved the whole business with the shoes. You know, it was like he's gone nuts. You're like, this is the thing that this regeneration, it's made him like obsessed with his shoes for some reason. And then you find out later that's because that's where the key is.
Right.
And then I loved the whole business when he's with his face. Like he sees his face for the first time, and he's just like, this is. At first he's like, oh no. But then he's like, well, hey, it's not that bad. And he's kind of like, all right. And then
that gets mirrored in Tom Baker's first episode, who looks in the mirror and all Baker can say is, well, you got to take the good with the bad, I guess. It's very like, well, all right, I'm not pretty, but I'm awesome.
And then I also love the end when he's like, the Brigadier's like, I just know you as the Doctor. By the way, what is your name? He's like, oh, it's John, and it like zooms in on his face. John Smith. Yeah, it's just great.
That is one of the best moments in Doctor Who.
Yeah. What about you?
What was that one from Hartnell's era with the War Machines?
Oh,
where they zoomed in on her.
Yeah. Polly is under the spell, and Ben's like, we gotta get out of here, and she's like, no, we must keep working for the victory of the War Machines. Da, da, da.
I love that moment. That's so cheesy and so funny.
It's so good.
My favorite moment, honestly, the hospital scene is hilarious. Him sneaking in and out of the bathroom and the shower. This is a Doctor who is just sneaky. He's just ridiculous.
I have to say, the first time I've seen the Doctor shower, I cannot remember another time.
But not the last time. No. Matt Smith did in the one where he gets a flatmate.
Oh, the lodger. Oh, you're right.
Right?
All right.
So we got the Doctor showering in the lodger. I'm trying to think. I mean, aside from the fact that he was just wrapped in a sheet, the Eighth Doctor, that doesn't count.
Well, it's weird because it's like you're seeing the character do something so mundane as just taking a shower, and that's what made the lodger so funny.
Well, it's pardon the pun. It's sort of a dressing down. You're so used to the Doctor having costumes and flair, and he wears his costume, he wears his uniform and his gadgets, and he travels, and he has the same process. Troughton did the same thing with every villain. He'd walk into a room filled with some sort of base with a bunch of humans who didn't believe who he was, and he had to try and convince them that he was worth something, and then he had to fight the monsters, and he was a lot of running. And like that, that's Troughton. And Hartnell would get uppity and grouchy at Ian, but this Doctor, because it was a dressing down, he strips apart everything that he is and takes a shower. That's unique. Usually you don't do that to a character. You don't break them down like that, especially
right.
after.
And he forgets how to fly the TARDIS.
6 years.
You like everything that we're used to. It's all. You take that all away, and we're going to start fresh. So it's it really is a fresh start. I mean, I really see this as kind of a Russell T Davies to Moffat kind of situation,
Yeah, it is.
I definitely had that feel when I was watching this.
People also forget at that time, and by the time that episode came out, it's 6 seasons in. They're on season 7. That's big. 7 seasons of a show. Go back and watch the first.
In Britain,
right? Watch the first 6 seasons of Supernatural. Get to the 7th season and tell me how mundane is it now? You're expecting things. What do they do to change stuff? Same thing with Smallville or with I can't think of another show off the top of my head. But you watch a show you love for that many seasons, and you're like, you can't keep telling the same stories. And a lot of shows would, but the show has just such an element of change to it. So you get to season 7 and it's like, well, first off, it's in color. Second off, he's on Earth. Third off, he's a secret agent. And fourth, and most importantly, Pertwee kicks ass. Every scene he's in, he rocks it.
He's great.
He's very different from Troughton, who was nervous man. And
as little as we saw of him in this story, as we got of his Doctor, I love him already. I think he's great. So
so there you go.
Yep. Final thoughts for me. I really enjoyed this. I'm really excited to move forward in the watch of Classic Who, and I've kind of been, I have a favorite, new Doctor, and it's Tennant. It might be slowly changing to Capaldi. I don't know. There's something about Capaldi I really, really like. But when I look back at the classic Doctor, I want to say, oh, this guy's my favorite. And so far, I've only seen like the first 3, sort of, and so it's always kind of becoming like, well, I really liked Hartnell. He was fun, and then it was like, well, I think I like Troughton better than Hartnell, and now I'm getting to Pertwee, and I'm like, I think I might be. When I get to that point, I think I'll probably say, oh, I think I like Pertwee better than Troughton. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, and more than likely, you'll love Pertwee until you get to Baker.
Of course, yeah. Who knows what'll happen? So
and then you'll fall in love with Baker and be like, man, I wish this guy had like 7 seasons. And then you'll be like, hey, Matt. I'll be like, hey Taylor. You'll be like, no way, 7 seasons? You'll watch him and you'll be like, oh my god, 7 seasons. And then you'll get to Peter Davidson and like, man, I really wish this guy would be done in 3. And I'll be like, hey Taylor. And you'll be like, oh my god, he's done in 3. And you'll get to the other Baker and be like, God, I can't do this. Can they just like not use him in a regeneration? I'll be like, hey Taylor. Oh, they don't use him in the regeneration? And then you'll get to Sylvester McCoy. You'll think, wow, this would be a great place to end this series for 7 years and then give us a crap movie and wait another 6 before they give us some more seasons.
I saw a Tumblr post that had the god, as we just did I think it was last episode, we talked about the greatest show in the galaxy, and
right?
it was a picture of the gods of Ragnarok, and it said, if you entertain us, or you die, and someone said something like, man, they really hit the symbolism hard in the last season of Doctor Who.
Yup.
And then someone else said something like, they go by the gods of Ragnarok, but I know their true name, Michael Grade. Who's the guy who canceled it.
BBC
So.
controls.
Yeah.
So
right. anyway, Spearhead from space, really, really cool. Really great new feel to the show, and just bright and colorful.
My final thoughts here: if I don't see this man karate chop somebody in the neck soon, I'm reaching my level of can't even.
Yes, No.
I'm so excited to start Pertwee with you, Taylor. I've seen very little of Pertwee, but what I've seen, I've loved, I've adored.
Yeah.
I've seen him with Liz Shaw, I've seen him with Joe Grant, I've seen him with Sarah Jane Smith, and there is no part of his time in the TARDIS that I don't enjoy. So I'm very excited. This is such a great first episode. Him, like Davidson, like Tennant, have really tough first episodes because they sort of lie around a bunch and don't do anything for the first
sleepy
half
time.
hour. And that's
sleepy time doctor, what we like to call him. And I'm
Davidson
glad
really gets to you because his first episode, 4 episodes in that story, and he's actually only really doing anything in the tiny little bit of the first one and in the last one. There's 2 whole episodes that it's just like, let the kids run around for a bit.
That's why I really enjoy the Smith and the Capaldi first episodes of A New Doctor, because they don't sleep.
So good.
Yeah.
This was a great first episode. I'm glad. Very happy.
Calculating. Voices from the Vortex gives Spearhead from space 8 out of 10.
Now Voices from the Vortex presents contemporary hits from yesterday, today, and tomorrow. The top 40. Counting down in the Vortex.
I'm from Gallifrey. I can't commit to a face. That's what Time Lord say. Ooh, ooh. That's what Time Lord say. Ooh, ooh. On incarnation number 8. But it'll only last a day. At least that's what Time Lord say. Ooh, ooh. That's what Time Lord say. Ooh, ooh. But I keep changing. Can't stop rearranging. It's like I got this craving for bright light to shoot out of my hands and neck. Cause the Cybermen delete, and Daleks exterminate, baby, I'm gonna regenerate, regenerate. Centauran's gonna Centaur, ha ha ha, and Shaduna gonna fro homo shoto. Baby, I'm gonna regenerate, regenerate. When I was young, about 421, avoiding Time Lords just for fun. Those days are gone. Traveling alone, I think of the Gallifrey I've known. When I dial the TARDIS phone, nobody's home. All by myself, don't want to be all by myself anymore. Don't go breaking my heart.
I couldn't if I tried.
Honey, if I get restless,
Maybe you're not that kind.
don't go breaking my heart.
You take the weight off me.
Honey, when you knock on my door,
I gave you my key.
oh, nobody knows it. When I was down,
I was your clown.
oh, nobody knows it. Right from the start,
I gave you my heart.
I gave you my heart. So don't go breaking my heart.
I won't go breaking your heart.
Don't go breaking my heart.
Now this is how you wrap up a show. Drinks, the ocean, and a good friend.
Ah, it's nice to relax.
So, maybe our next podcast, we should take it easy. Podcast from a vacation house somewhere.
Or a beach house.
Ooh, or Disney World.
Hey, isn't this the same beach where we dropped off Clarence?
Who?
Drink up, buddy.
Voices from the Vortex is a fan podcast created by Matthew Whitecamp and Taylor Davidson. Starring Matthew Whitecamp as Matt from Gallifrey, Taylor Davidson as Taylor from Gallifrey, and Danielle Davidson as the voice of the TARDIS. Music arranged by Murray Gold for the BBC. Doctor Who and all related material is copyright BBC. No infringement on rights intended. Use of material is for satirical purposes and is not intended to be canon. As always, a huge thanks to the BBC and Doctor Who for inspiring us, entertaining us, and giving us one more thing in life which kicks massive ass. Make sure to follow our podcast on broadcastgallifrey.com, or check us out on all of our social media pages: Facebook, Google+, Twitter, Tumblr, and of course YouTube. Thanks for listening. We'll see you again in the Vortex.